Ooh, welcome back, Dota 2 fans. This is game 2 of a best of 2. We've got xGame KZ versus Denial Esports. Game 1 going to Denial, very convincing fashion. Fucking mad Lycan running through the structures of xGame and most of the heroes as well. First two bans, same exact story from xGame KZ. IO and the Brewmaster are going to be taken out. Same thing from Denial as well. They're going to get rid of that Brood as well as the Viper, which I believe were their first two bans. Brood, definitely the first ban. They're going to pick up the Puck once again, so going to offer some of that control. Does work very well with the Lycan with that Dream Coil. And unfortunately, for the side of xGame, they're going to have to deal with Joral's Puck again. Perhaps if it is him in the safe lane on it, could go into the mid with this for sure as well, and would be very effective in that mid lane. Was able to get up a pretty well timed Blink Dagger though, as they did rotate Mantis around on the Slark quite a bit, and therefore we're able to give Joral some space on that Puck. DP once again is going to be the first pickup here for xGame KZ, so we'll see if Tomash picks that up once again in the mid lane. I know some of you have noticed Stalcat is not playing, so not a full squad here for xGame KZ, unfortunately for them. But either way, they're going to have to make do here. 3 and 6 so far in JDL Europe Division 1. We have at 8 and 7 Denial. They are currently sitting in 4th place, just above Goomba. They were tied 7 and 7 coming into this series, so they are into the finals as it stands. And they will pick up the Bat Rider for the side of xGame KZ, so definitely synergizes very well with this Theft Prophet, able to grab up a target and close the distance for that Exorcism, and they certainly something they did lack a little bit. Just give me a quick moment here, guys. I don't know why. People piss me off when they don't listen. Either way, there's a phone in my room for some reason. Vengeful Spear going to be the second pickup here from Denial. And definitely does work well against the Bat Rider. Instant counter pick to that. And should do very well. So, just got a little bit of irritation. Either way, Naga Siren banned out from Denial Esports. Interesting ban from them. Not sure if this is something Wadafaka runs a lot for xGame, but they'll ban out the Slark as well, and they'll take that away from Mantis. And he usually does play the 1, but they did run an aggressive try there. So Ogre Magi going to be picked up. Very strong roaming combos, excuse me, from both teams. Skywrath Mage Sand King synergizing very well with the Burrow Strike with the Ancient Seal, as well as all of the magic damage offered from the Skywrath, and it does synergize pretty well with the Bat Rider as well. So those three going to be very potent roaming combo as well. When the Blink Dagger does come out for the Bat Rider, whenever that is, they will ban out the Beastmaster as well as the Drow Ranger from the side of Denial, and we will see a Doom pickup here. So very interesting from Denial. Doom, not the best into their lineup, is pretty effective against both the Skywrath and the Sand King, but if you get the Exorcism off early with the Death Prophet, and perhaps they do pick up some sustain in this offlaner, then they're not too worried about that Doom, but it does drop the Bat Rider if they have really good reaction time and can take out the epicenter from the fight. So not a bad pickup from Denial. I just don't feel like it's a direct counter up against this xGame KZ lineup. Either way, Doom very effective in eliminating effectively one hero from the team fight. Medusa is going to be the ban here from xGame, so they do still need a hard 1 position for the side of Denial if they choose to run this Doom in the off lane, which is probably the most likely scenario for this Doom, unless they run him in the safe lane, which is presumably a little bit less likely unless they pick up a very early game centric lineup here with this final pick and look to end it early, albeit they are lacking push thus far, so they probably won't consider doing that. They ban out the Jakiro, so not going to give up the core Jakiro to xGame, and going to give them something to couple that Exorcism with in the Liquid Fire, so they do ban that out. Pretty smart ban from them. I do like it, but they can pick up, of course, a hard right clicker with a lot of space creation that they do have in the first 4 picks, so they could pick up something like a Spectre perhaps, could even pick up a frontliner like a Bristleback, or just an insurance policy. The Medusa is out of the game here, so nothing too late in that sense. They still do have the Void available here, and Void Skywrath, for obvious reasons, works out pretty well. Not bad with the Sand King either. Can blink in with that Epicenter, and it will still do a bunch of work. What cannot follow up with the Burrow Strike is, of course, as he will be frozen by the Chrono. But regardless, still a lot available for xGame for certain. Void not the best into Doom, as well as the Vengeful Spirit. So Denial has kind of already dealt with that pick by virtue of their early 4 picks. And therefore should be able to deter this Void pick from the side of xGame KZ. And they are thinking pretty hard about it. Have eaten into most of their reserve time with this one pick here. So not sure exactly what they're going to opt for. Could go for more initiation, but in that sense, you kind of put all your eggs in one basket in the form of the Death Prophet. And they're going to pick up the Necrophos here, so a lot of sustain from them. And as I mentioned when the Doom was picked up, if you get some sustain and get that Exorcism off before the Doom, you should have pretty good team fights here, but there will be a Shadow Fiend 5th pick for Denial. So some hard right click coming out for them. Could be a very Feast or Famine pick into the Bat Rider. Shadow Fiend, pretty slow hero, does tend to build BKBs. The Lasso, of course, goes through BKB. And so we'll see a little bit of a role switch up from xGame. Mantis going to be in the offlane on that Bat Rider. Reeves and Equal going to pick up the supports once again. Wadafaka in the safe lane once again. And so we'll see if he ends up being solo this time around. Anyways, this is Game 2, guys. JDL Season 4. I am Morris Pease, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. This is HeflaTV. Game 1 taken by Denial Esports. And the draft overlay is going to be there for the entire game because I think it looks cool. Not either way. Let's introduce the teams. Paris going towards the safe lane, it seems, on this Shadow Fiend in the one. Creo J following up on the Ogre Magi. Fucking mad, playing on the Vengeful Spirit, back to the support role. Joral once again on his puck in the mid lane, and Funzy with the Doom into that off lane. So safe lane Shadow Fiend, interesting pickup here, or laning decision from Denial. For the side of xGame KZ, looking to tie things up. Equal in the safe lane on the Sand King. Reeves picking up that Skywrath Mage. Wadafaka playing in the defensive try on the Necrophos. Tomash in the mid lane once again on that Death Prophet. And Mantis going to be playing in the off lane. On the Bat Rider, should be a little bit worried about this lane. A lot of stun coming out from the Vengeful and the Ogre. And they do have those Shadow Raises, which are quite a big nuke, as you can drop 3 of them at most levels. They only cost 75 mana. So if they overlap those stuns well, they should be able to kill off this Bat Rider despite him having the Firefly to cliff them. So going to be interesting here. Creo J and his tri lane going to secure the rune bottom. Looks like Reeves will secure an illusion top, which kind of sucks for him, but either way we'll be able to help him, excuse me, with a little bit of the harass here. And going to be interesting to see this mid lane matchup. Puck versus Death Prophet's the one I expected in the early picks of the first game, but later on picks relegated Joral to the sidelines. Joral should do well here on the puck. Not that Tomash is going to lack farm, but is going to lack the ability to harass out this puck. Speaking of which, though, we'll see Reeves send in what looks to be 2 illusions here, and he does have the seal at the ready. Actually going to put some Arcane Bolt harass, so is going to reveal now that one of those is real. And we'll just back off Joral for the time being. Bot lane, some harass going out onto Mantis here. He's going to get a couple of sticky napalm stacks into this Ogre, though, who has skilled Ignite level 1. 5 stacks here. You see how hard he's right-clicking already. And Paris has 3 stacks, but just going to stand in lanes. Already got 4 souls up. Needs to be careful now. 4 stacks of napalm into him as well. He's already got a magic stick, though. He's picked that up from the side shop just now, and should be just fine to sustain in lane. Mantis using a lot of mana with this sticky napalm spam here, and should be a little bit worried about his lane sustainability in terms of the mana. He does have quite a bit of regen, still 2 tangos and a salve left, and Paris going to put a little bit of harass into him. As the Vengeful is pulling, Shadow Raise is available here, does hit 2, and Mantis getting pretty low, gonna have to salve up here, so good use by Paris to zone him out of the lane there. I think Paris just had a salve canceled. Did that actually happen? Not exactly sure. Either way, should be just fine with a full set of tangles and the magic stick. And we'll continue to right-click away in this bot lane. 7-4 already against the 4-2 for Tamash against Joral in the mid lane. And that Skyrath securing a little bit of farm. Mantis going to look to farm up the pole here. Will be pretty successful at doing so. Fucking Mad going to rotate around with the help of Creo J, but they're not going to find anything as he does fly down to the low ground. And nice little pickup there. 5 last hits for Mantis thus far. Not doing too poorly. Already found his level 3 up against Funzy, who's already rotated back to the jungle and is stacking up. Has found level 2.5. So we'll have this Devour Midas presumably to recover into the game, or at least the mechanic of the Devour in and of itself. He's got a 15-2 Necro here for xGame KZ. And they're already going to put a little bit of harass into this tower here. Reeves chasing down, or Equal I should say, chasing down Funzy with the threat of the Burrow Strike. Arcane Bolt harass going to go out, but Reeves going to eat a lot of harass from this tower. He's going to now switch the aggro over and will be okay for the time being. Equal going to rotate into the trees. There's no concussive shot quite yet available for the Skyrath Mage, unfortunately. So they don't really have any kill potential on this Doom. Doom does do fairly well against magic damage early. He's got a very big base HP pool. Where he is weak is against physical, as he starts with 0 armor. And concussive shot going to be dropped onto Funzy, but only going to zone him out for the time being. Fucking Mad in the mid lane on that Vengeful Spirit. Backing up Joral here. Going to look to find something on Tomash's DP, as we do see Reeves having to rotate outwards from the tower, taking a little bit of harass there. Wadafaka, very sustainable in lane 2-1-1 build thus far for him. So hasn't maxed this Heartstopper, and it is pretty smart not to do so just against one hero. So we will see things stagnate very much so in the mid lane, or in the mid game thus far. And a little bit of a pull through trying to be attempted by Creo J. He's going to find the bounty rune bottom, going to secure it perhaps for Joral in the mid lane, who does have his bottle ready. Haste rune going to be picked up here by Tomash in the top lane, and he will bottle that up for further use, filling up the bottle as well. Opted for a 3-0-2 build thus far on the DP. And things going to stagnate for the time being. Joral 18-3 up against the 20-6, so has recovered nicely despite that early aggression onto him from the Skyrath Mage. And as you see there, he is able to phase shift most of these Crypt Swarms and should be just fine. Looks like we do have Mantis rotating back towards the jungle. Unfortunate for him, Mud Golems, ewy, and he won't be able to farm that stack up particularly well, but he's going to stack it for the 3rd time here. And perhaps we'll find at least 2 stacks of non-magic immune creeps, and he does. So that'll be nice. He'll recover towards his Blink Dagger here, and we'll be able to firefly these creeps away. He does have to worry about dying from these melee creeps here, but he will get a double pull off and should bring down most of these creeps. Does bring down the wolves, as well as this ogre should tick down fairly soon, and is at 9 HP, so he'll pick that up soon enough. Joral should maybe have something coming out to him, at least boots, and that is the case. He is sitting on the Null Talisman bottle at this point. Should be near the highest net worth, is 4th overall. Wadafaka sitting just below Paris on that Shadow Fiend, who is farming up a stack at the moment. Couple of Centaurs there for him. Funzy's rotated in as well. Has picked up the Purge here. Very effective. It only has a 5-second cooldown for this Doom. Is pretty low in terms of or is pretty high in terms of mana cost, but here Exorcism going to be popped along with the Burrow Strike, and they're going to be dodging the Fire Blast with that Sandstorm. Nicely played. And the Invis rune popped as well, it seems, from the Death Prophet. She's going to catch a Fire Blast in the face, but has the Haste rune and one more Crypt Swarm. She's going to pick up 2 there. Double kill going the way of Tomash. Very nice priority kills there. Simultaneous Midas is going to come out for Paris, as well as Wadafaka on the Necro. Necro is going to be delivered a little bit more quickly, and he'll be able to utilize that. Paris, though, still finding good farm on the Shadow Fiend. Does have a nice stack up here as well. He'll go back to base, heal up, and then be able to farm that. But 2-0 is your score in favor of xGame KZ. They have a nice early game start to this one after falling in game 1. So Joral, though, still has found his farm. 640 gold on the puck in addition to the boots, null talisman, and the bottle. And phase boots, magic wand, null talisman there for the puck at the ready. So Funzy hasn't had a great time in this offlane on the Doom, but has found level 4, almost level 5 at this point. Wadafaka does have the Reaper Scythe at the ready, but he's going to need to put some more harass into Funzy if he wants to pop that. And so they won't be able to aggress on him for the time being. We'll see Dream Coil committed mid, however. Lose your orb forward. It's going to be popped by Tomash. No jump forward, as they didn't have the Ogre in range for Creo J to find a Fire Blast there. And Funzy going to be zoned out top lane with a concussive shot as well as the Arcane Bolt. But they will find the tier 1 for the side of xGame here. And last hit going to be secured. Yes, it is, by Wadafaka. Almost taken by that siege creep there. And TP's to the top lane. Manta's going to lasso up Funzy. They do have the Reaper Scythe available here. Arcane Bolt. Will Wadafaka get in range? He will not. He's going to catch a Fire Blast in the face and quite a few tower hits as well. Will he tick down to this Ignite? No, he'll get the Death Pulse off, but the Illusory Orb coming in from the mid lane. Jor-El going to find Mantis and Wadafaka. Double kill for the puck. Nice rotation over from Jor-El. Evening up the score. 8 minutes. A little bit of an overzealous dive there from Wadafaka. In the meantime, Paris going to go down in the bot lane to Tomash without the Exorcism. So perhaps standing in lane a little bit too low there from the Shadow Fiend. Very nice kill for xGame KZ. So despite losing to that puck, they'll pick up the highest priority target in the Shadow Fiend. 66 last hits for him is now surpassed by the earlier dying Wadafaka on the Necrophos on the net worth chart. But 1,000 gold on this puck as well as treads. So Joral doing well. Isn't going to opt for that blink rush. Is going to pick up the treads first and will be end up being a little bit more tanky here. Just got to check this message, and things all well and good. In the bot lane, Mantis caught out, however, with the magic missile. 2 raises, going to finish him off from Paris there. Nice kill going the way of the Shadow Fiend here, and Paris going to look to recover nicely with that. After that death to the Death Prophet is now level 8. Taking a look at the hero levels just below Joral on the puck, who did get that double kill in the top lane. So the puck doing very well thus far in this game. A little bit contrary to the story of game 1. Denial still did win, but Joral had a rough early game in that one. Reaper Scythe yet to be used on this level 8 Necro for Wadafaki. Did try to make a go for it. Bot lane. And Fire Blast into the face of him. Doom as well. He's going to be ignited up. Should drop here. They do have the Scorched Earth as well as that slow movement speed. And Funzy will let him tick down. Creo J going to give his core Doom that kill. As soon as that level 6 comes out, you got to use that. And they will make effective use of it for the side of Denial. Mid lane, Joral being aggressed on. Ancient Seal, level 2 here, but not ready quite yet. Crypt Swarm is going to be caught in the face by Joral. He'll rotate up, phase shift one of those attacks. Bottle up, 1,500 gold. And some wave farming happening here from Reeves. He's got all 3 of the supports as well as the Death Prophet in the mid lane. Gonna pop an Invis rune for Tomash, rotate towards the bottom lane with the Exorcism at the ready, but isn't gonna find anyone waiting here in the jungle as Paris is farming up the stacks of the large camp behind the tier 1. So that was eliminated and is looking pretty good on the Shadow Fiend. 700 gold in addition to the Midas Wraithband treads and the bottle. So Paris has found farm. 5,600 net worth for him. Very diligent job of stacking done by both Creo J and Fucking Mad here. Fucking Mad a little bit more farm than the Ogre does. Have full treads up on the Vengeful. So was involved in that Mantis kill bot lane. Exorcism is going to be popped here by Tomash. There will be a glyph though, and rotations are available from Denial. 5 TPs available for the team, so they can come in with a full squad here. Deep Lane Ward going to be placed by Reeves on the Skywrath, and they'll take this tier 1 with relative ease. So Exorcism not going to find them any kills, but does find them a tower. Mantis going to get the last hit on that. Very effective use of the gold from the side of xGame, and they will give him that last hit. 1,750 gold for the Bat Rider. He's not too far off this Blink Dagger here. Needs about 400 gold until that. We'll start farming up the Radiant Jungle. And things going to be pinged out here from Paris, so he does know that there is someone nearby. And they will deward here with that sentry. But Blink's going to come out both for the Necrophos and the Sand King. So we do see Equal recover very nicely from the jungle on that Sand King. And Necrophos going to pick up a Blink of his own. So perhaps a little bit salty about that bot lane happenstance where he wasn't able to pick one off. It looks like Doom able to get the Bat Rider here with a Purge perhaps. Let's see what was used in that fight. They get the Dream Coil off and he'll just get the right click. So Mantis going to drop. Joral once again involved. 100 gold away from that Blink. And that's going to stifle the attempt at the Blink from Mantis as well. He's sitting on 1950 gold. So gets a little greedy in the enemy jungle. Does go down in that river. So it seems he actually went down around the Roche pit. And is now available. But the Blink comes out here for Joral. So 3 Blinks thus far. A 4th to come in the form of the Bat Rider in the game. And 3 of them on the side of xGame KZ when that comes out. So will be crucial to see who gets the jump in these team fights. If Joral's able to get it, should bode well for xGame KZ. However, if the Sand King or the Bat Rider for the side of should bode well for Denial. If the Sand King or Wadafaka or the Bat Rider are able to initiate for the side of xGame KZ, things should bode pretty well for them. Interesting pickup from the Death Prophet here. Tomash gonna find a mechanism. So not something we see all too often, but definitely something xGame KZ needs up against the Doom. And as I mentioned earlier in the draft, they're going to need some sustain. Joral going to walk around the corner. He's going to find Wadafaka here. Blink out, though. Waning Rift going to be a little late. Blinks down to the low ground. There is a jaunt forward here, but doesn't want to aggress up into the high ground of the enemy jungle. And Mantis is available here with a lasso. Will he phase shift it? He drops the Dream Coil. Will phase shift for the time being, but he's going to be able to lasso him into the Firefly here. In the mid lane, though, they will bring one down. That's Tomash. And the Reaper Scythe going to bring down Funzy as well. Joral going to be able to get out. So 1 for 1. Doom going down for the Death Prophet here. And Funzy's down for quite a while with that Reaper Scythe, adding the Death Timer. He has picked up his Midas here, so should be just fine on Doom to continually recover with that Midas Devour combo, but is down for 40 seconds with both of those available. So that is very disheartening for Funzy on the Doom here. And the Death Prophet will be up 30 seconds quicker by virtue of that Reaper Scythe mechanic added in the recent patch. And we'll see TPs mid from Denial from the side of everyone. Joral going to TP in. Waning Rift onto 2. There is a Magic Missile as well as the Wave of Terror into Tomash. Ignite going to go out. Swap back from fucking Mad. They'll be able to bring down the Death Prophet. They lose the Ogre in the meantime. One last right click. Not enough to bring down Wadafaka. Joral does have a Blink and the Orb available. Will Blink. Orb up the high ground. Not going to be able to find the Necrophos. Will put some right click into the Skywrath Mage, but it's not going to be enough to kill him off. And take a look at the fight recap. 2 for 1 going the way of Denial. They don't get the Necrophos, which is very unsettling for them. Mantis here with a lasso in 10 seconds, so they can look to mount a defense. They will pop the glyph fairly early, and they will look to defend this tower here. Lasso is now up for that Bat Rider. Denial wisely, though, will back off for the time being. And Midas is used all around. BKB now picked up by Paris. So as I mentioned in the draft, definitely a core item on the Shadow Fiend. However, Lasso does go through it, and they are lacking a bit of physical damage on the side of xGame. They do have, of course, the Exorcism if they're able to drag back this Shadow Fiend far enough. But he is still pretty survivable with that BKB popped, even if he does get lassoed. And they will look to aggress mid lane. Fire Blast going to go out onto Mantis. They won't have enough to bring him down barely. The Ignite not going to take him down there. Mech going to heal him up for the time being. And he does have a lasso. He jumps in, reinitiates Creo J, but nice swap out from fucking Mad. Mystic Flare going to totally whiff. Reaper Scythe going to be a little short on the Vengeful Spear. Requiem of Souls going to connect on everyone. Nice 2-man coil. They're going to bring down the Skywrath as well. And BKB'd up Paris. They'll find the Doom onto Reeves a little bit late. And Tomash going to look to man up against Paris. He's taking a lot of damage from these Exorcism Spirits and should be certainly careful. Jump forward, though, from Joral. Illusory Orb. Jaunt up. He's going to get cleaned up by the Exorcism and the Crypt Storm, however. Well played by Tomash, and he will be able to back off on the Death Prophet. Look at that. That's a 4 for 2 overall. Joral feeding his life over late, but Denial doing very well there. They jump in. They find the Ogre, which was the original lasso target, but everyone surviving. Reaper Scythe not casted late enough on fucking Mad. He survives. The BKB of Paris keeps him up quite a bit. Doom used on the Sand King a little bit late, but does bring him down. And 4 for 2 going the way of xGame KZ. Very nice engagement for them. Taking a look at the metrics here, 1,500 net worth lead almost in their favor. In excess of 5k in terms of the experience, though. And we take a look at the hero levels. SF and the Puck, 13 and 12 to the 11 and 11 of the Necro and Death Prophet thus far. And they do have a Vengeful Spirit on fucking Mad, who is level 10 already. So level 2 swap going to come out about simultaneously with level 2 Lasso. So certainly something to worry about here for the side of xGame is this swap range. They will have 950 range to counter up that Lasso from Mantis. He does have it available now. We'll have the Firefly Vision. Not going to find anyone though, as Funzy and Paris are going to rotate back. However, Mantis going to find that Vengeful, just as I mentioned. Fucking Mad doing well. He's going to drop here. And the Ancient Seal, Burrow Strike, just a few right clicks. Very economic use of abilities. By the side of xGame, they're not going to expend too much, but the Lasso here. They will also find the tier 1 in the mid, so great pick-off transitioning into an objective. And Tomash going to find that last hit. He's picked up a casual Vit booster. However, more initiation from the side of Denial comes out. Blink Doom is now available from Funzy, and if they're able to get this off on the Death Prophet, they should do very well in these team fights. And the 9-second BKB still available for Paris. He's going to expose himself mid lane. Jump in. Burrow Strike from Reeves. Instant Fire Blast though. Mystic Flare is going to be dodged with the BKB. Jump Floor Doom onto Tomash, who was holding onto that Exorcism, which was still on cooldown for 5 seconds. Definitely not a worthy jump here. Reeves trying to TP out. He'll be brought down. Mantis going to farm up some jungle creeps and look to blink away promptly hereafter. Will frame break the Paris SF. However, Funzy blinking forward. He has scouted him out. Joral is in the mid lane on the Puck. And actually not going to look to pursue Mantis on this Batrider here. 3-0 in the mid lane. Going the way of Denial. They'll pick up this tower here. Last hit going the way of Paris as well. He's picked up the Yasha. 1,700 gold in addition to that. Manta, or I should say Midas at the ready. And probably Manta on the way fairly soon for this SF. He's going to be able to dodge that silence from the DP as well as the Ancient Seal with that Manta. So very good ability for him. Going to be able to allow him to save his BKB perhaps a little longer in these engagements. And does offer him some extra right click as well. So things looking pretty good here for Denial once again. xGame certainly more so in this game than they were in the last. But 8k or so experience in the way of Denial here, and 4k net worth generated by them. Largely from this Shadow Fiend. He's sitting at 12,600 net worth to the 8,500. So already a 4,000 net worth surplus in Denial's way there. And Magic Missile Fire Blast going to catch out Reeves here. He's going to get swapped back, dusted up. Right click down by Paris. Another kill going the way of the Shadow Fiend. 9-1 and 3 is Paris on this SF. Ultimate Orb has come out. So will be the Manta style build from him. We'll see the Force Staff now come out for Mantis. So that helps certainly quite a bit for the side of xGame. And things getting worse and worse. Not getting enough done with this Necro Death Prophet Batrider core. And it looks like Joral going to be able to find this tower fairly easily. Actually, they're going to glyph it in deny range, just out of deny range. Tomash is here with a silence. Fake cast that Exorcism. And BKB popped by Paris. Looks like they're willing to go in. Jaunt forward. Coil onto Tomash. There is no waning rift here. Lasso up. Joral. Paris just going to find the last hit on the tower. And it looks like the Puck will be the sacrificial lamb for the time being. And will get dropped there. It looks like they may want to re-engage though. Fucking Mad looking for a swap. Not going to find it quite yet. And they will chase down, however, Mantis on the Batrider. He's been canceled. His blink canceled by the Wave of Terror. 2-1 till the blink cools down. Will be able to blink out. No, gets right clicked. Why did he turn around? God knows. And Mantis going to fall there. Blink was off cooldown momentarily, and he could have blinked out and probably survived here. Although Funzy did have blink as well with a level death at the ready, so that could have slowed him for that time. That mini stun is off, and maybe they could have pursued him down. Either way, Joral going down, tower going the way of Denial. They do find the Batrider in return, and will be able to put some pressure into this tier 2 here. 7-second BKB still available here for the SF. Swap back onto Reeves. Fire Blast and the Magic Missile. Doom even committed here. He'll drop. Wadafaka not able to do anything on this Necro, and they will bring down the tier 2 here. For the side of Denial, only 3 outer tier towers remaining for both sides, as all the tier 1s have been taken down. So that's one thing xGame has done this game we're unable to do last game, is find some push with this Death Prophet. Lasso at the ready here. Mantis blink forward. He does lasso Paris. He'll bring him back. They'll bring him out of the Mystic Flare, however. He will be cleaned up by the Reaper Scythe, and that's a godlike streak going the way of the 1 position for xGame. So this is nice for him, helps him towards his Hex. Still quite a ways away though is this Necrophos, and will bring him towards level 14 here, and now he will be able to be on his way to that level 3 Reaper Scythe. However, I don't think Paris is too worried about this. He's already picked up his Manta in base, 1400 gold. In addition to that, does feed over a godlike streak, as I mentioned, is down for quite a while by virtue of that Reaper Scythe. 2-man smoke from the side of Denial. Joral and fucking Mad probably going to be able to bring down Reeves here with relative ease. There is a Blink Waning Rift available here. They'll even drop a Sentry, Magic Missile, Wave of Terror. Illusory Orb going to be the last one to pick him off there. Phase Boots picked up by the Doom here. Can go in mid lane onto Mantis, but he's already Fireflied up, so can still come up the hill, and it is going to drop now. But they won't look to put any harassing to them. TP's bot lane going to look to defend this tier 1. Tomash ready. No Exorcism available. Doesn't have a Yules either on this Death Prophet, which is generally pretty core. Did opt for that early casual Vit booster. Has made her pretty tanky. Only died 3 times for Tomash. Has been the standout thus far for xGame, and pretty much the only glimmer of hope right now. Wadafaka hasn't been very influential with this Necro. Did find the 1 Reaper Scythe on the Shadow Fiend, but he was out of position for Paris there, and does have his Midas available. Will use it. Is able to now purchase up that Mystic Staff, but still a Void Stone away from a Hex. And that will become pretty effective as the BKB is dwindling down here to a 7-second duration for Paris. Funzy looking to aggress from the trees. Coil onto Mantis. He's going to be able to Firefly up. 4 staff out of that for the time being. Epicenter channeled up. Jump in. He's going to get Fire Blasted though. Mystic Flare is going to clean up Funzy here. Reaper Scythe going to be a little bit short. But they will bring down the Ogre regardless. Joral going to be able to TP back, but a blink forward Lasso is going to find fucking Mad. And they'll probably bring him down as well. He's going to get Silent Step. Concussive Blast going to go out. And the Burrow Strike going to finish him off. One last right click. Going to be dodged by the Sandstorm. Well played there. Joral going to get Ancient Sealed up. Crypt Swarm's going to hit as well as the Arcane Bolt. One last right click from Manta. Going to be dodged by the Yules. He will be able to phase here and blink out perhaps. Nope, not going to be there in time. Earn one last right click from Mantis. Going to pick off the puck there. 4-0. In the bot lane for xGame KZ. Very nice engagement for them. They do lose their tier 1. Don't think it was denied, but either way, huge win for them in that bot lane. Paris not attending the fight, so probably would have been a lot different if he had. But either way, Wadafaka picking up another kill. Does find his Scythe of Vice. So this could be the comeback mechanic for the side of xGame. That Scythe with the dwindling BKB, as I mentioned, he's going to be a little bit more susceptible for Paris. Still does have 7 seconds. Is building into a Scotty perhaps with this ultimate orb after the Manta. And will be very tanky as well as have quite a bit of right click. So no Desolator here for Paris. Just looking for that Scotty. And does have the Manta available now. We'll find some more farm in the mid lane. Paris, 16k net worth. Was at 1.4k ahead of this Necrophos, but now Wadafaka 13.4k, and things looking a lot more even now than they did a couple minutes ago. We'll see the graph spike back towards the favor, and in fact, experience goes from in excess of a 10k lead generated by Denial. English is hard, back to almost equilibrium here for xGame, and 3k gold or net worth. Jump forward, Waning Rift, Illusory Orb, even the Coil committed here. Wave of Terror is going to come out, and Magic Missile, one more right click, going to bring down the Bat Rider here. Exorcism was committed by Tomash, and it looks like Denial will just disengage from that. Knowing that is down, they should probably regroup and look for a push fairly soon with the Bat Rider on the sidelines as well for Mantis, and a couple uphill misses. Unfortunate for Wadafaka. He won't pick off that Sentry Ward, which will be taken out by Paris for their side. And any other item progression for the way of either teams. Joral has picked up his Yules and an ultimate orb, so on a way to a scythe of his own. It looks like Denial will go into the Roche pit, knowing that the Bat Rider is down, as is the Exorcism. And with this medallion from fucking Mad, they'll bring this down fairly soon. And we do have the Doom have a BKB of his own now, so 10-second BKB up on Funzy. And Paris' first life, he's going to be able to go ham here and probably save that BKB as well. Get off a nice Requiem, get his Manta Illusions out, and be able to return to the fight here. So you see how powerful this Aegis is for them. They should be able to take a nice engagement henceforth with that. 2,700 gold is available on the Necro, so can go for a Dagon if he wishes to do so. Can also go for a Veil. That helps out most of the lineup of his team. Aside from the Exorcism, everything else is pretty much magic damage from the side of xGame. And could also pick up perhaps a Bloodstone, perhaps a Scythe. Will be interesting to see what Wadafaka goes. He has died 5 times in this game, but most of those are early deaths, and can't really recall the last time he died, except for the big engagement that Denial took. In the mid, jump forward, Waning Rift, Yules up onto the Sand King. He will have a burrow here into the trees, but they will be able to clean him up with a level death from Funzy, and with no buyback available for that Sand King, they will be able to push this mid lane with Aegis in tow. So things once again looking good for Denial. Tomash cutting the creep wave bottom. Does not have Exorcism for another 20 seconds. Looks like they will choose to just sack this tower in the mid lane. And the Bloodlust doing work for these cores of Denial. And they will be able to bring that down that tier 2 with relative ease. Don't see what should stop them here. They have all their ultimates available. Sand King is down. Exorcism is slightly down. Swap back onto the Necro. Wadafaka gonna clean up really quick. He's gonna instantly buy back. There's still an Aegis here though. And Denial gonna regroup for the time being. And it looks like they'll actually just force out that buyback and back off. And not gonna give anything over to Wadafaka for that buyback. So going to make him totally wasted here. Very well played by Denial. They do pick up the Force Staff now on the Vengeful Spirit. They can look to re-engage. Blink out from Wadafaka is a little worried about the re-engage here. They do have a Blink Forward Doom from Funzy. And it looks like just content to sit back and farm is the side of Denial, as they do have now a 5k gap widened between the Necro and the SF here. And Lincoln Sphere is actually the pickup from Paris, so not going to be susceptible to that lasso. Very defensive build from him, but with max souls and dying very little, 10 and 2 on this SF, he still should be able to put a lot of work in terms of right clicks. 245 damage with the Bloodlust with max souls right now. And he's hitting pretty hard on this SF. Also Requiem going to do a lot of work. Looks like we'll see a 5-man smoke movement from xGame. Not sure what they'll find here though. No one really is present in that bot lane area, and they are pushing out the top wave. As for here, fucking Mad gonna TP back, push out the bot wave. It looks like they are privy to defending this tier 2 from the side of Denial, and they do have the Aegis available for another couple minutes. And should be just fine. To make this defense here. Things looking pretty scary for xGame. They needed that smoke rotation to work out. 10,000 net worth and roughly that in experience. Leads generated by the side of Denial, and they are looking great right now. Joral picked up anything aside from that ultimate orb. He has 2,500 gold, so is looking for a Hex presumably, and is not too far off of, that Mystic Staff. So things looking good for Denial. They'll aggress and rendezvous in this bot lane towards this tower. They do have this Aegis available for 1 minute and 10 seconds roughly, and they will look to use it to take out this T2. We'll see if xGame are going to look to sack this one as well. They do have all their ultimates ready, so they certainly can mount a defense here and do not have a bad turtling team with the lasso, with the Exorcism, with the Epicenter. Haven't seen any good Mystic Flares this game. From Reeves, we saw Mantis drag one target out of the Mystic Flare, and we saw the one get swapped out mid lane by fucking Mad, so perhaps that could turn the tides of a fight if they find one. Manta is gonna dodge this concussive shot, which is now disjointable. Paris just gonna sit on the high ground with that Aegis, daring xGame to pop it, as it is gonna expire fairly soon. And we'll just put some harass or chip damage into this tower. Not much at all. And Denial going to back off for the time being. Perhaps waiting for this Hex on Joral. They've got 3k gold in addition to the ultimate orb. And playing this very passively. Very safe from the side of Denial. Not looking to throw their advantage to a Death Prophet as well as the Necrophos. Tomash has picked up his heart. So is pretty tanky on this Death Prophet, and in addition does have the plate mail, so that's certainly by virtue of not dying for that Death Prophet. Is sitting on level 17, not too far behind the levels 19 and 18 of Paris and Joral respectively, and is above the Doom despite having Devour Midas. Only level 15, so perhaps they wait for that level 3 Doom, they wait for that Hex, and they go in. But mid lane, they're going to pick off fucking Mad. He's going to be down for 88 seconds without buyback by virtue of that Reaper's Scythe. So there's a Mystic Flare usage, but Hex going to come out now for Joral. And Mantis going to need a pause here. 1 minute needed from xGame. And very interesting. But it looks like things are going to stagnate for the moment. Do we find any item progression from either side other than what I've mentioned? Looks like Reeves is potentially building into a Rod of Aoi with that Staff of Wizardry. He does have a gem for the side of xGame, so that's nice to establish a little bit of map control, albeit they've been choked to their side of the map more often than not. Aghanim's going to be built into by Wadafaka here. So I should say there is still buyback available for that Vengeful, but she doesn't have the gold for it at the moment. Down for 80 seconds. And nothing much else in the way of item progression. Ultimate Orb picked up by Funzy as well. Perhaps a Lincoln Sphere for him. Perhaps another Hex. Don't really feel like it'll be a Scotty here. But Funzy looking pretty good. And things going to stagnate for the moment. 3,200 gold up for Paris. So perhaps can look into an MKB. Can buy both the Mithril Hammers for a Deso if he so pleases. Mantis gonna be good, and we're gonna restart this game here. So Mantis looking to aggress onto Paris mid lane. He doesn't have that Aegis, but he does have a Lincoln Sphere, so if they waste the lasso on him, if they haven't clicked on him and revealed this Lincoln Sphere, this could be deadly. Two-man Waning Rift is available here. Reeves gonna jump a concussive shot. BKB gonna be popped here. The coil is available. And the Fire Blast going to go out onto Reeves here. He's going to get picked off early. Coil onto 2. Doom onto Wadafaka. He's going to drop here. Mystic Flare is going to finish off the Ogre. Mantis going to be able to get up to the high ground. Joral's going to be silenced up here. He's a little bit isolated from his team, but not too worried on the Fairy Dragon. 2 for 2 thus far, but 2 supports for a core and a support. No buyback available from the Necro here. And they're going to be able to push. Jump forward. Waning Rift onto Tomash. Illusory Orb backwards. Ancient Seal, however, is onto Joral here. Crypt Swarm going to slightly whiff there. And the puck should just be fine. Going to Yule's dodge that Arcane Bolt. They're going to finish off this tier 3 here. Nice phase shift. Blink should be available for the puck. And Joral does get out. They do still have this standing with only 29 HP. So it looks like they will find that tier 3 deny. Mantis going to deny that up. But Rax is now exposed for xGame, so Denial finds a little bit from that engagement in the mid lane, and they don't lose any other cores, which is the big point to mention here. So Scythe of Ice picked up for Joral here. 2,400 gold onto Doom, and some gold was spent. So perhaps a Crystallis coming out. It is a Crystallis coming out for Paris here. He does have enough for that Demon Edge as well. Not enough for the recipe, however, and didn't give it to him. Yeah, go grab your sword there. Oh, not the TP. Yeah, there you go, Paris. Picks up the Crystallis on the SF. Immediate smoke from Denial. They're going to run into Tomash on the high ground. And Blink Forward from Joral. Hexed up. Mantis is there. He's going to Firefly Black, though, and he'll get picked off. Coil on 2 as well. Mystic Flare going to whiff. Waning Rift going to drop another here and swap back onto Tomash. That's 3 for 0 already. And there goes the level death. Actually, just a one more right click from Paris to pick off the Skyrath. 4 for 0. Easy game for Denial. And they should be going up mid lane at this point. Yeah, they do have the SF rotating back to push out the wave. And they will do so. And they cut the wave with the rest of the crew. No buyback available for anyone from the side of xGame. Everyone is short on gold except for the Necro, who is short on gold and time. But we'll have the cooldown off shortly. Still going to be 600 plus, 700 gold short at this point, and easy set of racks, if not 2, for the side of Denial here. And that melee rack's just melting to Paris. They're all going to find the last hit there. They're going to go bottom as well. They're going to find Reeves here. Few right clicks, jump forward Hex. Reeves going to feed his life over. One right click from the Doom and banished to the 7 hells. Is that Sand King down for 37 seconds. There goes the second lane of racks. Easy couple lanes for Denial here. They're looking to take this 2-0 in this JDL Season 4 Europe 1 Division Series. And Aghanim's Scepter picked up by Wadafaka, so if they do find someone here, there's no back available. They can go for somewhat of a GG push, but all the tier 2s are still available. 3-man silence by Tomash. Blink forward by Mantis. He finds fucking Mad, but the Venge not exactly the target they wanted. Coil onto 4. Is there a Requiem available? There is the Doom. No Requiem needed from Paris. Hex out onto Tomash. Couple of right clicks onto him. And they're just going to zone everyone out in the meantime. Going to chase down the Skywrath Mage. They're not going to find him quite yet. Everyone going to back off here from the side of Denial. Interestingly enough, few right clicks though, up to the high ground. Paris going to finish off that Skyra. Tomash going to TP forward rather aggressively. Paris is still pretty tanky on this SF and will catch a Crypt Swarm, but a couple more right clicks into Tomash. No problem. And Yule's up onto Joral. Will get silenced here, but Funzy looking to chase down Tomash, who does have the heart, is pretty tanky. Mantis going to get cleaned up to a Flame Break. Or Mantis going to clean up Joral with a Flame Break, I should say. Almost feeds over the gem here after buying back. Would have been a die back there. Lot committed from the side of xGame. 4 down there. Buyback from the Bat Rider. And Denial going to be very happy with that trade. Only losing the Puck and the Vengeful. Still their Doom as well as their SF not dying. They do have Roshan up. They can go do this fairly easily even without the Medallion. And 300 gold from Aghanims is Creo J as well. He's going to pop the Bloodlust onto Paris and Funzy. This will be an easy Aegis. Going the way of the Doom perhaps, unless the Midas is dropped by Paris here. And actually, Funzy almost denying that. Creo's going to pick it up in the nick of time. And he will be 20 gold away from the Aghanims for the Ogre Magi. So that's just another item that is just terribly, terribly devastating. Swap back from fucking Mad on the Ogre, and he will TP back to base for the time being. A little bit of fun being had by the side of Denial. 26,000 net worth on this SF. Has 2,800 gold in addition to his Daedalus, Manta, Lincoln's, BKB, and Treads Midas. So Paris huge right now, followed closely by Funzy, who is going to pick up that Lincoln Sphere. But actually, no, the Perseverance was on the way to the Refresher. So casual Ultimate Orb for the time being. Maelstrom into the Mjolnir. Going to be built by Paris. Shadow Blade picked up by Joral here. So we'll be able to blink in and Shadow Blade to escape there. So interesting pickup. Going to be a lot more survivable on Joral. And I don't mind the pickup at all, as they don't rely on the Puck for the damage output. They rely on her more so for the control at this point with the Waning Rift and the Coil. Lincoln Sphere now going to be completed as well by Funzy. He's not going to be susceptible to that lasso or most of the damage from the side of xGame with that 8-second BKB still available. We'll have 2 Dooms for this next engagement, and for all intents and purposes, barring a big misstep from the side of Denial, this game is more or less over 25k net worth advantage. 40 minutes in, 20k. They're going to find Mantis on the high ground, looking to D-ward. Hexed up, multicast for Unrefined Fire Blast. Jump forward, Doom. Funzy going to trap himself on the high ground, but he'll get the Doom off on Wadafaka. He's going to get swapped out here. Aegis is going to get popped on the Ogre Magi, so they lose nothing for the side of Denial. They bring down Mantis. Mantis' Bat Rider. Lasso is down. And Paris just going to stand on the high ground, put a lot of right click into this. Jump forward, Waning Rift, Coil only on 1, but they will bring down the Skywrath. Another Doom goes out onto Wadafaka. He's going to drop Fire Blast onto Tomash. Unrefined Fire Blast as well. Creo J needs to be careful not to die here. Exorcism going to heal up the Death Prophet, but they won't be enough to bring down anyone. And third lane of racks and GG. Going the way of Denial. Very convincing couple of games for them. They look very good for the French squad. And despite Stallcat not being there for xGame, which is unfortunate for them, Mantis' effigy going down as well in the midst of the chaos and destruction. Denial going to take an easy 2-0. And Dota 2 Best YOLO had them at 60 to 65%, somewhere in that range. if I recall correctly, and they were certainly correct about that. So the public assessing this game well. Denial taking a 2-0 here. They are 9-7 now, and they are in the Europe division in the top 4. Ready to go to the finals of the JDL League Season 4, guys. I am Moritz, please, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. You can follow me over on Twitter at MRP_Dota. This is HeflaTV. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter /HeflaTV, and on YouTube at youtube.com/HeflaMoke, where all our VODs will be available. If you may catch the end of a tail end of a best of 2 over on HeflaTV 1. That's Hehe versus House of Gamers right now. And yeah, easy game. Going the way of Denial. GG, guys. Thanks again for the support and for joining me. Later on tonight, we have some upcoming games. Just bring up the schedule for you guys. We do have at 1 a.m. CET, so that's about 8 hours from now. We do have THD versus Wheel in JDL American Division 1. And so, very well played from everyone here. Thanks again for joining me, guys. Denial looking really good. Fucking mad, both on a core and a support role. So Seb looking good, both on the Venge and the Lycan. Denial with a victory here for the French squad. They take a 2-0 in a very much needed circumstance where they do now enter into the top 4. So see you guys soon. Thanks again for joining us. Join us over on HeflaTV 2, 1 a.m. tomorrow, CET for THD versus Wheel, and we will have the conclusion of BOCE up as well on our Hitbox channel fairly soon. Thanks again for joining me, guys, and we'll see you around. This is More Rage Please, signing out.